Reviewers get a lot of flack for pointing out some of the flaws or even just mildly annoying parts of a product. And generally speaking, a lot of the flack is because that one particular thing does not impact the enjoyment of the product for one person. Sadly, that is a cross we have to bear though. But the reason we do it is because in a perfect world, a company will listen to the reviewers and they'll make changes. And that's exactly what happened here with the RODE PSA1 Plus. FYI, at the time of recording, the PSA1, this one, retails for $109, and the PSA1 Plus is $149. Though they are both on sale quite often, so keep an eye on that. And even now, I can hear people already typing away that there's no such issues with the PSA1. Okay, hear me out for a second though. As of a couple years back, they were really the only ones in the game at this price point, and they made a fantastic boom arm. But if you really want to get picky, there were a few things that could have used an upgrade. For one, the lack of cable management. And sure, those Velcro ties were great until you lost them or you just got sick of reattaching them when you changed something out. The bases that were provided were also great, but they both had their shortcomings. The clamp-on base didn't offer much in the way of table separation, meaning thumps on the table got through. And the bolt-on table mount was very much rudimentary with, once again, no way to cable manage through the table as well. And next up was this bolt. The whole assembly was viewed by many to be a soft spot and the biggest area for improvement. Tightening it down for any reason was a pain, and if you wanted this to point directly up, this nut would always get in the way. And finally, the booms weren't completely silent, and that's something that can get worse with time. So then how did they solve all that? Well, the cable management on the RODE PSA1 is vastly superior. Just the simple ability to clip the cable down is huge. No more messing with those Velcro straps. It's an absolute dream in comparison. It isn't internal routing, but for me, that's not really an issue, though I can understand some people who do want internal routing. But this, it's a hell of a step up. As for the mounts on this thing, both have gotten upgrades. Now, the clamp upgrade is rather minor, though it should have a massive impact, with there being foam on the actual clamp. It's a nice touch, RODE. And the bigger and more noticeable upgrade being the bolt-on mount that you have to drill through your table. Now, it has an extra hole to drill so you can further manage your cables, which will lead to a much nicer appearance on camera. Also, it is a lot more chunky, which should lead to a more secure base, though I've never really struggled with that part of it. I should also mention that this now has a bit of rubber on it, which doesn't seem like a whole lot, and I would recommend you padding this up regardless. But compared to the first iteration of the boom, well, there wasn't any at all. So even a little bit is a massive upgrade. Next up is sound deadening, and I'm not sure if that is what RODE had in mind when they wrapped the boom, but well, it's what they got. The creaking you can get from the original will be muffled out by this stuff, as it was generally the vibrations that just galloped through the exposed arms. Now that it's wrapped, even an older arm should be at least respectfully quiet. And finally, the top nut for connecting your microphone. If there was a poster child for over-engineered, I think this might be it. So there are some obvious upgrades here, and at least one subtle one that I've noticed a lot of reviewers seem to miss. First up, there is this better separation between the boom itself and the microphone. Instead of the microphone being mounted super close to the final joint, it's now just a bit further away, and that means it no longer interferes with certain microphones, most notably the SM7B. Now, it wasn't a massive problem before, but the full range of motion wasn't there when the XLR was plugged in. It was kind of an annoyance before. Now, the nut for tightening your mic down is much bigger and much easier to use in my mind. And the nuts on the side for securing your microphone are much bigger and so much easier to use. But there's also a hidden feature in here. Have you ever lost this piece? It's a super pain when you do, because when you put your mic on the boom without it, you're kind of at the mercy of wherever the threads end. But, well, not anymore. You see this piece? Well, just loosen off these here. You rotate the mic to the desired angle, And voila, such a nice and elegant solution to such a stupid problem. Thank you, RODE. Now, I'm just going to focus on the cons here, as I've already gone over pretty much all the good stuff. And frankly, there really is only one. I really don't like to see plastic anything on a boom arm like this. It's an instant weak point on the boom, and right down here at the mounting point, yep, that's a chunk of plastic. I'm not sure if that's something that can be easily replaced when it breaks, but considering RODE's track record for stuff like this, I wouldn't doubt it. RODE is amazing for this kind of stuff, but still, come on, RODE, plastic bad. Now, there still is a market for good old faithful here, and I'll always say this boom is worthy of your attention if you're in the market. Though now that the PSA1 is here, and only for a couple extra dollars, especially when they're on sale, they're literally $10 apart. If you find yourself in that exact scenario, spend the few extra dollars. And even if they aren't on sale, I would say the creature comforts of the upgrade are more than worth the extra money. Now, on the flip side of that, if RODE really wanted to muddy your decision, dropping the price on the PSA1 would make for a very tough decision. And I can also say it would also offer something up of quality to those of us who are strapped for cash. It's still a great boom arm, and I can guarantee you that it will outperform whatever Neewer option that you can find. But what do you think? Worth the extra few bucks? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.